Hello, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video of something that I was talking with some of my friends about this weekend. So come on in, have a seat, and we can discuss this. But first, I would like to ask that you like and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And if you're returning, thank you so much for tuning in yet again. As I always say, I'm no expert. I'm just a woman over 40 who's out here in the dating game. And I like to share my experiences, hear from you guys, and discuss, living life, dating over the age of 40. So, welcome, come on in, and let's have a talk. So, I know you saw the title of the video, and it's so triggering. Um, what I see a lot, and at first I used to kind of joke about it. I'm like, yeah, I love these homeless men, bringing them into your house with your kids. But it recently, someone that I truly love, a girlfriend of mine, I just started seeing a pattern and I just got really, really triggered. And I had a conversation with her and I let her into some intimate details of my own life. And I just felt compelled to talk to more women about it because after speaking with her, she literally, it like a light bulb went off, and she was like, "Oh my God, I never thought of it from that perspective." And I gave her the perspective of her daughter and what her daughter is going to go through, what she's going through now, and then when she becomes a woman. Because I was like, I am your daughter because I've been there. But what I talked to her about and what I seen is in this, I see it in several different women. Um, Meet a man, move him into your house, never introduce him to your kid. The first time your kid meets this man is like they come home from school, come home from, wherever. This man is here. The kids don't know who he is. And now he lives there. Their home is their safe place. No matter where they go, they always can come home. They can feel safe. This is their bubble. Then you bring a complete stranger into their bubble. Imagine how that kid feels. I say when you're dating, it's okay to date. It's okay to meet someone. And if the two of you feel as though you have that connection where you want to build a life together, that man needs to date your kids. And what I mean by that, they need to meet your kids outside your kids' safe place, meaning outside the home. He needs to take them to the park, take them for ice cream, play with them, build that rapport with the kids. So that kid can be like, oh, I remember him. That's the guy. He's so nice. He pushed me on the swings, or, he played basketball with me. Like he does little things like, I like this guy because, he's really nice. He's nice to me. He's nice to my mom. Not some dude that just poof out of the clear blue sky. Now he living with us. That's very triggering for a kid. And the thing is, more women need to start thinking of their kids, not your little gratification because you want a man so bad that you just move anybody into your home. And I know that sounds harsh, but it is what it is. If this man doesn't have his own home, why do you want him in the first place? If he can so quickly move into your home, like literally, where did he come from? Was he on his, in his mama's house, his grandma's house, on his homeboy's sofa? Is he coming from his baby mama or the last chick he dated? Where is he coming from where he can just move into your house? Think about that. He can't even show you stability that he knows how to consistently pay bills, but you want to move him into the house with you and your kids because you want a man. You got to look at a man's character. What type of man is it that will feel okay with moving into a house with a woman and her kids? Now, I can see if you met him, you all have been dating, he's met the kids are comfortable, say his lease is up, you have a conversation like, okay, I want you to come move in. We're gonna build a life together. Now, I don't really condone shacking up, but that's my own, thing from my own experiences. I just don't do shacking up. And as I told you all before, I'm an empty nester. I live by myself, but I still don't want no man living with me. My thing is, if you want us to live together, first of all, put a ring on it and create a life for us, and we can live together. But no shacking up. No, we're not doing that. So I say, as a woman, when you're out here dating, you need to think, what in me as a woman, as an individual, would allow or entertain a man who has no basics? Basics meaning has a home of his own, has a car, gainfully employed, and can show he can consistently take care of himself. If he's moving in with you and your kids, and just because he's a nice guy, you don't know. You don't know this man. He just moves in. Your kids don't know him. And as I told my friend, children have discernment that is on a whole nother level. Kids see things we don't see. People need to pay more attention to their kids. And don't be thinking, oh, well, my kid just don't like nobody. Well, it's the reason. It's the reason your kid don't like nobody. Take a step back or talk to your kid. Get on their level and talk to them and find out why they don't like anybody that you're dating, anybody that you've ever dated. There's obviously a reason. Kids don't just not like people. Normally, if someone is a good person, kids they be like trying to show you little tricks. Oh, watch me. Look at me. Like doing all the. We've been around kids like that. When you're a good person and you're around kids, the kids, they just kind of cling on to you. And you're like, oh God, because kids, they know good people when they see them. They want to be around good people. So if a kid is like, I don't like this person, it's the reason why. Like, why do you have this person around your kid? And I'm a big, I like watching Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil talks a lot about having a non-custodial parent. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye or something. One of my hairs or something in my eye. I'm sorry. But Dr. Phil talks about the likelihood of a non-custodial parent abusing that kid. So have you ever stopped and thought, I'm bringing this man who I barely know, moving him into the house with my kids. And you ain't gonna tell me, oh, well, he don't never be alone with my kids. You can't say that. No, I don't know any woman can say a man has never been alone, even if you're in the shower, taking a nap, go to sleep. When you go to sleep, I mean, you never know. You just moved a complete stranger into your house with your kids. Stop doing that. Get to know these men. Build a relationship, build a rapport. Then have him come in to meet your kids. And like I say, the initial, I say 3, 4, 5 meetings need to be outside the home. He don't need to be spending the night when the kids over there. Now, if you want him to stay the night when the kids at grandma's or sleepovers with their cousins or something, then you can do that kind of stuff. But those kids need to know home is safe. There's not a complete stranger laid up in the bed with their mama, and then he seemed like he ain't got no job. And that's a whole nother thing I don't even want to get into, when they're just bums. But normally if a man just moving into your house, he don't have like no morals to me. Because if he just up and moving to your house with you and your kids and haven't built that foundation, something's morally off to me. And people can disagree, but I'm telling you, as a woman that was a child that saw this, and then I'm a almost 44-year-old woman. And it's just so triggering. Because when you go back and you look as a kid and then you become an adult, you look back, you be like, I went crazy. I know what I seen. So now I know a lot of times I can come across a little harsh. I have standards that may seem a little higher than my friends, but it's because of, just things that as a child that you witness. And I also talked to my friend and because she was like, her kid's father, she's like, it seemed like he can't do any wrong. And I say he can't. My daddy can't do no wrong. I don't care what nobody say. I didn't grow up with him in a household, but he was always there. And as a loving father, a father that, if I needed him, he was always there. He can't do any wrong. And I told her, I said, I'm pretty sure your daughter, no matter what you say or do, her daddy can't do no wrong. Now, I can't speak for women who don't have a relationship with their father, but I can talk as a woman who still has a relationship with my dad. My dad can't do no wrong. And I know it's not fair saying a woman can't do the same thing that a man can do, because we really can't. I mean, you can try to do the same thing as men, but society is going to check you. Things are going to happen. And you can try to buck the system, but at the end of the day, you're going to lose. And you shouldn't want to do the same thing men do. But at the end of the day, as a mother, as a woman, your children, their mental health and well-being should always be number one. And you need to make sure, if you're going to date, make sure you're dating and the man knows you have children, and how your children feel should be the number one thing on your list. If your kid is grades are starting to fall off, your kid's acting out, you need to stop and look at the situation and have a conversation with your kid. Get on their level. They may not be able to really articulate to you what's going on with them and how they feel, but me telling you this is what they feel. They feel as though you're picking this guy over them. You brought a complete stranger into their safe place. Now, he can be the best guy, great personality. He can, actually want the best. But the way you presented it to your kid, you basically need to just ball that piece of paper up and throw it away, because you presented it in a way where it's just threw your whole kid's mental out the door. You have to think about that, how you present things, and the caliber of man that will allow that. I'm telling you, out here dating, one thing I've noticed, I would say what I've noticed about men who are ready to settle down and get married, they either are telling me, I just bought a home because I need to build my nest for my new wife, or I have a home because I need to make sure my wife has a home, even if she has her own. I have my own house, but I always say, if I marry someone, he needs to have his home, one home we can rent out, one home we can live in. That's more assets for our family, And not knocking men that rent, but if he's not, newly moved to a new area, or maybe he was divorced and gave his wife the house and he's like, okay, well, I'm getting myself, I'm getting ready to buy another house. I'm just not there yet. But he can show you that he at least has his own rent he's paying, and he's living well, and he can show you he paying bills and he can buy a house. Men that I know that are ready to marry, they're moving towards building that nest. They're not out here like, just willy-nilly and like whatever happens, I'll just move into your house. That's not what they do. I've noticed that with men that are really ready. They will tell you, within the next year or two, they want to be married. They are preparing, they are preparing to have a wife. They're preparing for a family. They're not going from one woman to the next woman to the next woman, living from woman to woman to woman. A man that has himself together wants to have that his own basics under control, his own strategy, his own plan. He's not trying to live off of a woman. I just need for everybody to understand this. And I know it's going to trigger some people. Everybody's not going to agree, but that's fine. You don't have to agree. But I bet if you go talk to your kids, and even the kids that are adults now, and if you've done that where you were bringing men in when they were kids and those kids were acting out and their like little personalities change, things were, go talk to your kid. Have your adult kid now and go have a conversation with them. Ask them. I guarantee you, they're going to say, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like him. I didn't like the way you presented him to us. I'm telling you. Think about it. So next time you meet someone, or if you have a friend, I mean, you got to come to them on a level of, I love you as a friend, but this is what I see. I need you to understand. I mean, I want you guys to share this with your friends and let them know. If you're dating and you have little kids, even teenagers, it's a way to present these men that you're dating to your kids. And if you want to move him in, hey, sis, do you. But what I'm saying is, don't let the first time your kid meet the man you're with be when he moves in with his 3 trash bags. Just put it out there. So think about it. I'm not trying to be mean, but I need for people to look at it from their child's perspective and the damage that they do to their children when their children are growing up and when their children get ready to date, and how their children are going to look at the dating game when they get to a certain age. And if you have sons and you're doing it, you're probably going to create the type of man you complain about. And again, that's a whole nother situation. I'm not a boy, never been a man, any of that. So I can't really talk about it from a man's perspective, but I can talk from a woman, a little girl, a teenager, now a woman, a mother, empty nester. I can talk from that perspective. Your kids should be first. Your kids' well-being and their mental should always be first. Yeah, you want a man, but you also need to think, what in me will have me entertain the type of man that don't have his basics together? Why would I even entertain somebody like that? And once you realize that, sis, get into some therapy, understand what's going on with you, and then choose better. But that's what I had for today. I appreciate everybody for watching and listening. Please share, subscribe, like or dislike. If you don't like it, I mean, let me know. Talk about it in the comments. I'll read and we can have a conversation. But that's all I have. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Again, thank you so much for coming by. Bye.